What's up, guys? Welcome back to the second episode of the 1819 show. I'm Gilbert.
And my name is Manny, and really quickly, I'm going to share basically what the 1819 show is all about. We touched on a little bit on the first episode, but I want to share it again on this episode here. So if you go to Matthew chapter 18, verse 19, it says, when two people come together and gather and agree on something, basically Jesus says that he's behind it. And that's really our heart. Gilbert and I are coming together. We got two people here. We're coming together for a common goal, and we believe that Jesus is 100% behind it. We believe this channel is going to bless so many people. But before we get into all that, and as the episodes go on, like I said, you're going to learn more about us. But we want to share really briefly some of our testimony and basically, our background and where we came from and how we met, most importantly. So Gilbert, go ahead and share a little bit of your testimony.
So basically, I grew up with my mom, my dad, and my sister. My grandma lived with us. Basically, one afternoon, my mom stayed home from work, and I was in the backyard with two of my friends. And one of my friends left to go change, and I was back there with my friend, and he was maybe about 11 to 12 years old. And at this age, I was maybe about 5 to 6. And when I was in the back, he took advantage of me. He molested me. It didn't get anything too crazy. It wasn't too crazy, but it got to the point where at that moment I felt something within my body, and I was like, you know what, I think I like this. So ever since that happened, growing up, my mentality has been men until all the way to high school. I got to high school and I heard people talking about it. They were kind of bashing it, making fun of it, so I was still kind of timid, shy, ashamed a little bit. So by the time I got to my senior year is when something that was so shameful became so acceptable. And there was one night where I was just like, you know what, I was like, I need to tell my friends that I'm gay, bi, whatever I was at that point. I told them, and they received me with open arms. They loved me, and they basically gave me what I wanted to feel, and it was affection. It was just so many stuff. And I think that was one of the reasons why it was kind of so hard for me to come fully and dedicate my life to Christ, because of the open arms that the world, the people who did not have Jesus accepted who I was. And basically my 21st birthday comes around, and I'm at a club over in downtown Fullerton in the Anaheim area by Disneyland. And as I get home, I'm sitting in my car. It's maybe 3-4 o'clock, and there's a voice that I heard, and the voice that I heard was a still small voice. And the voice that I heard, it said repent. And the next morning, that same morning, I woke up maybe about 10-11 o'clock, and that word kept lingering in my head: repent, repent, repent. I didn't go to church per se. I went with my grandma. She was a Catholic. I really didn't pay too much attention, but something led me to go and speak to my mom's mom, and she was Christian. And she basically I told her, what does the word repent mean? And she basically said, that's when you give your life to Christ and you follow him fully with your entire heart. So the third week of January, I got saved, radically saved. It took me a whole year and a half to fully dedicate my life to Christ without living a lukewarm life, fully on fire for God, without compromising. And it's hard. It's a battle, but I want to encourage you guys that it is not impossible. People think it is impossible. There's people who stop drinking. There's people who stop smoking cigarettes. And no one says anything about that. But when it comes to homosexuality, people say, oh, you can't be delivered. But I'm a testimony say you can be delivered. Yep. God can do it for you. God can do it for your kid. He can do it for your mom, your grandpa. He can do it for basically anybody. All you've got to do is pray, fast, and fully come in unity with God. So basically, that's my story. I want to leave time for Manny, but if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. There's so much that I want to pour out, but Manny's going to go ahead and share his story.
All right, so for me, I'm what's called a PK, and that's basically church slang for pastor's kid, and that's who I was. So ever since I was little, I grew up in church with my brother. My dad basically took us to every single service, Sunday mornings and then Wednesday nights. We were always in church. We never missed any services. And, if you guys have the same story as I do, you guys know that, after a while, as you keep going, it's kind of a routine, right? And that's what happened to me. I was even part of the worship band in high school, and it was fun. Church was great and everything, but I didn't really fully give my life to Christ. I didn't fully have a relationship with God. It wasn't until about a few years ago now that I was, in my early 20s, and basically God told my dad, hey, you know what? You need to start teaching your boys. And that's what my dad did. He basically said, you know what? I want to start a Bible study for you guys. Bring a few of your friends and let's get this thing started. I want to teach you guys. And it started with 8 people in my living room at my parents' house here in Covina, California, which is in LA County. And it was a warm summer night in June, and we got together, and all of a sudden we started meeting week after week on Thursday nights, and it started growing. It started with 8, 10, 15, 20. It just started growing until we got about 100 people. We had to move all the furniture out, and it really wasn't until we started this Bible study that's where I really truly felt like I had a relationship with Christ, and that's where I truly felt like I grew, and I really understood who Christ was, and he changed my life big time. And that's where I met Gilbert. He came to our ministry, and it's been great ever since. Gilbert and I are in ministry together now. It's been 5 years since we started our ministry, and he plays the acoustic guitar, I play the drums, and then my wife, I am married. I don't have my I don't have my ring on my finger. My wife's gonna kill me when she sees this video, but I am married. My wife sings, and we have our full worship team, so we're in ministry now. So to see us and our stories kind of come together, it's been amazing. So really, that's where my story leaves off, and that's where we currently are right now. So in the next episode, we're going to get into a little bit more of our stories. We're going to share about somebody who played a big role in both of our lives, more importantly Gilbert, and the reason why he came to Christ, and the reason why he changed his life. So I encourage you guys to please subscribe and comment. We have so much more content for you guys coming. So see you guys next video. Peace.